Good morning. Welcome back to SBJ Weekend Review. I'm Keagan Holsey, youth pastor at Shiloh Baptist Church. To my left is Chad Holsey, pastor here at Shiloh. This is the podcast where we go over all the happenings of this past weekend here at Shiloh. How are we doing this morning, Chad?
I am doing good. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I am a little tired this morning, but we had a good day yesterday, good weekend. So it's worth being tired, I guess.
Yeah, didn't have a college class this week, but still had the picnic thing, so
yeah, we'll talk more about the picnic here. Yeah, in a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Did we have any comments or?
We had two. I sent a screenshot of them to you so that you could look at them while we're doing this if you wanted to do that first.
Okay, let's do it. Screenshot.
I believe that's John Johnson.
I think that's John Johnson, and he is accusing you of being the guy that's changing all the thermostats. So you are the guilty one, and you need to quit doing that.
The only one I touched two of them. I mess with the one in the youth room, and I mess with the one in the sanctuary during the services. I do not touch any of the classrooms. I wouldn't even be able to know which thermostat to adjust to mess with your class. So.
Right, because so for those who don't know, it's called Sunday School 1 and Sunday School 2 when you're looking at the thermostat adjustment on our phones. And to be really honest with you, I don't even know which one's which.
I'd have to literally go in there and do it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're down to the folks who are the thermostat folks, and it is all the usual suspects in which we think, and there's some that say
someone admitted it.
Yeah, and we do have someone who has admitted their sin and has confessed and repented. And
if you want to find out who that is, go watch the last episode, because I was very shocked to find out who that was.
You'll be very shocked. So go back and watch episode 3, and you'd be really, really shocked to find out who did it. The other comment is from John as well. He said, I've heard people using the KJV to say the earth is flat from Genesis 1. Well, I would love to know more about that. Maybe we need to get John on here, because I read Genesis 1, and I don't see anything in the KJV that leads me to believe that the earth is flat.
Well, then here, I think the ultimate question is, John Johnson, are you a flat earther?
Ooh, I wonder if he is a flat earther.
I'd be interested to know, and I'd love to hear more.
Yeah. So, John, comment back. Let us know your thoughts on the flat Earth.
I think I could be easily persuaded.
Do you? So okay. So let's do this. How do you explain?
The only groundbreaking proof we have is NASA, and we already know that everything they put out's a lie.
I know, but how do you explain the sun and the moon and the cycles and the way things? How do you explain that if we're flat?
How would that change
everything? Because like if we're flat, where's this flat sun going and coming? Like
if it's flat here, sun goes up, gets to the other side, goes down for a little bit, and then comes back the next day.
So it's burning our underneath.
We're on fire.
But what's underneath us if we're flat?
The dinosaurs.
I think it breaks down really fast when you start asking some simple questions. But I guess I'd like to talk to someone who believes that the earth is flat, because I would love to know their insights on it, because I have round makes sense because, we're orbiting and that kind of stuff. Flat does not make sense. Like the sun goes down here and it goes down, but then somehow or another it pops back up here. Is it changing? I mean, what's it doing there? And the fact that it goes across the sky like it does leads you to believe that it's that we're round.
Every argument I've heard for it, I think, is dumb.
Okay. But yet, I felt like you were trying to convince me that the earth was flat the other day.
No, I was not.
I felt like you were. Yeah.
I said this is what Tucker said.
Oh, well, okay. Well, let's get Tucker on here.
Because I can show you my text I sent back to Tucker. I told him, I said, you can get me fired up on most conspiracies, but this one's not it.
This isn't it. The flat earth isn't the thing that's going to get you fired up.
No.
Well, me neither. If we're flat.
I do believe we never went to the moon. But we already said that last week.
Yeah, and I'm okay with thinking that. The video was atrocious. That's the best we can do video wise, but we're on the moon. I mean, come on. But I'm not saying we did. I'm not saying we didn't. Maybe we should get Neil Armstrong on
I'm
here.
saying we did not.
We didn't do it.
I'd rather have Lance Armstrong on.
Who's Neil? Oh, Lance. I got you.
That dude rocks.
Well, depends on who you ask, but
everybody was doing it.
Okay. So for those who don't know who Lance Armstrong is, he was a cyclist and won the Tour de France many times, but then it was all stripped away from him for allegedly doping.
Which every other person was doing.
Sure.
What happens is, if everybody's doing it, and you're the one guy who doesn't, you're at a major disadvantage. So he does it to be just like everybody else, and then they all of a sudden decide, hey, we're going to crack down on this whole thing after it's over and you've won.
Well,
And that way we're only going to test you and make you out to be some kind of bad guy when you were just keeping up with the competition.
Well, I don't know. Anyhow, fun subject. I love the Tour de France, by the way.
Nobody else does.
July is one of my favorite months. One, I was born in July. And two, my son was born in July. And three, the Tour de France is 3 to 4 weeks long. And it is fantastic. I love every minute of it.
Ryder Cup's better.
I don't know who Ryder is. I thought he was your nephew. And
have you seen all the stuff going on with the Ryder Cup?
I don't know anything about the Ryder Cup. Was that golf?
Yeah, it's getting heated.
Does anybody care?
People hate America right now because we're all acting like buffoons out there.
So what we need is y'all to comment. What are your thoughts on the Ryder Cup and where you land on it?
Grandpa, I know, has been. There's no way he hasn't been watching it. So I'd be curious. I haven't reached out to him. I'd love to hear his thoughts on what's been going on. I dislike Bryson DeChambeau more than ever.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Anyways,
a golfer. We don't know him, but anyhow, he don't like him. That's okay. Go Longhorns. And a little excitement in church on Sunday in the second service.
What happened?
Miss Odom walks in with a bright red sweatshirt with the biggest Alabama A on it.
I have never seen a logo be that big on any
crazy.
article of clothing.
It was massive. It was as big as the entire sweater. Which
is awesome because Dad's kind of scared to admit this on the podcast, but we were both rooting for Alabama in that game.
I was not. I didn't care who won. I just want my Longhorns to win. And but yes, it was a great game. You may not have liked the outcome, but man, what an incredible game. And so for her to walk in, and then Diana Smith, she walked down the aisle, and you ain't ever seen somebody with the biggest smile on her face. I was like, what are you so, and it took me a second, but then I figured it out. Oh, she must, I said, are you an Alabama fan? She goes, yeah, I'm an Alabama fan. I went, okay, well, now we know.
There you go.
But she was super, super excited. And then most Georgia fans were pretty quiet yesterday.
It's a great weekend for football.
Pretty quiet. But yeah, it was good. So what's going on in Sunday school?
Still in 1 Thessalonians. It's actually pretty funny. What we were talking about was pretty much exactly what you were talking about in main service. So I don't know how that keeps happening. But, you were talking about the idea of, I think it was loving the brotherhood was your title.
Yeah.
And in the section of 1 Thessalonians that we're in, that's what Paul starts on, is loving your brothers. And then he transitions into talking about how you should be working with your hand. At that time, there's a lot of people, which is also pretty funny because, as you know, we missed the Rapture Tuesday. We all got left behind. But people freaking out about that, and there's people posting how they're quitting their jobs and selling all their stuff because they think the Rapture is going to happen. And Paul's touching on this there. Apparently there's people freaking out about the end times, but also people that were saying, I don't have to get a job because end times are coming soon. But there's also people saying I don't have to get a job because I forgot what they called it, the patron something, where basically a wealthy person in the church would host the church at their house and also fund most of the operations that the church was doing. So there's a lot of people that wouldn't get a job because they were like, I'm in this church family, who's going to take care of me? So Paul touches on not being a mooch in the church and not just being someone who comes and consumes, but actually being a productive member of the church and contributing and doing your part. But he talks about working with your hands, actually having a job, whatever that looks like. And so I told them kind of right now your job is school. For those of you that aren't working and doing school is your job, and you should do it to the best of your ability because excelling in your job can be a form of worship to God. And I brought up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, how people noticed how well they excelled at their jobs, and it brought attention to them. And then even I personally think the fact that they were so good at what they do and were such a productive member of the society, that's why Nebuchadnezzar gave them a second chance instead of immediately throwing them in the fire. He's like, all right, I'm going to give you one more chance to bow down. And so you see the good that comes from them excelling at their job. But then we moved from that to it's so hard having my notes on my phone when my phone's the camera.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. Just kind of talked about, just being a productive member is what the main focus was.
Well, I think today with teenagers, and of course even in our just society, is just the not put forth any effort. Just if it's not important, then it's not important. We're gonna talk about that when we talk about my Sunday school class. But just doing your best. I don't feel like people are being taught or encouraged to do your best, because that's what you should be doing.
Yeah. The other thing we talked about is not being a source of needless drama.
Oh, wow, that's good. We need to preach that message in the entire service, maybe.
Yeah, and then one of the things I said is, like, you can say one thing and mean something so positive by it, but someone's misinterpretation of that can be harmful, so you have to be really careful about what you say and how you present it. And I kind of just gave an example of how quickly division can start. If one person says something to somebody and they didn't mean anything by it, but this person took it wrong, and they tell their people what you said from their point of view, and then him and that whole group start resenting you, and then you tell your people that this guy's resenting you for no reason and being distant, and then now you got two groups of people going against each other for something that initially wasn't meant to be taken that way at all, and stuff just sparks off quickly. But yeah, talking about the idea of being a consumer, just coming in and taking and not giving anything, and I think that's all formed in with how everything's set up. Like our phones, we're just consuming so much.
We're a consumer
and
society,
not having to contribute at all.
Yeah.
And having that in the church is dangerous. You shouldn't just come in. There's actually, you get a lot more out of church when you're putting in, I feel like. Right. When you're being a part, showing up to stuff. Even that things like the family picnic that I was only there for 10 minutes. Because y'all left as soon as I got there. I think it was on purpose.
Well, they heard you were coming, and they were like, all right, let's get out of here before Keagan gets here.
And I get that. I understand.
Yeah, that's what happened. But, no. So we do live in a consumer society, and I think obviously it trickles down to students and to kids, and they find themselves also being consumers. It's just what they're taught and what they see. And
product of your environment.
Yeah, product of their environment. And so that's where we as pastors and parents need to be hyper-vigilant in the aspect of training and teaching and making for sure that's, where we do our part. We do what we need to do. And so I think that's important. So.
Yeah. What did you talk about in your Sunday school?
So our Sunday school, we started a new series called Parenting Together. And this week was talking about developing your child's character, helping it grow. And what happened was the people who are leading the video, husband and wife, and they have 4 kids, and they decided there were 4 things they really want to focus on with their kids, that they really wanted their kids to get and their kids to see in their character. The 4 things, first one was responsibility. The second one was honesty. The third one was being respectful, and the fourth one was being kind. And they used stories in each of their 4 kids' lives. The first one was the responsibility, take responsibility for your actions, own it. If you did it, you did it. Stop blaming other people for your stuff. And so they told a story about that. And then of course our people got to talk about that. Brandy Marcinko, one of the things she wants with her girls is for them to own their responsibility. That's your responsibility. You did it or whatever. Take responsibility for it. Don't blame other people and do your part. And then honesty, being truthful. The lady, when she was talking about her kid, it started early and just was real dishonest, about things that didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Lying about things that didn't matter. Like, hey, that's a brown wall versus a white wall. It doesn't matter. So why are you lying? And they found out that she would say whatever just to make, she would say what she thought her parents wanted to hear, and instead of just being honest. And so they had to work on it. And it was one of those deals. They said that it took her whole childhood that they worked on that. You know what I'm saying? And so some of the responsibility, I think you should teach your kids responsibility early. Teach them that taking out the trash is important, and teach them to have your responsibility, that kind of deal. And then like I said, honesty, and then being respectful. One of their big issues were their son being respectful to somebody who he didn't feel like deserved it, or feel like they had authority over him, and so he had some issues with being respectful to people who maybe he may have not respected, or felt like they should have authority over him or whatever. And just the importance of, hey, in life, there's going to be people that are going to be over you, and you need to be respectful. And it's kind of like that military aspect, and we kind of talked about this with our group. It's kind of like that military aspect. You don't respect the man, you respect the position. And so teach your kids to be respectful. But here's the problem. Like today in our schools, teachers aren't respected. Police officers aren't respected. Parents aren't respected. Kids are taught not to be respectful.
Well, it's also because they see their parents not respecting those people.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and that's one of the things I told them. I said, you can't expect your kid to be respectful if you're not respectful. You can't expect your kids to be responsible if you're not responsible. You can't expect your kids to be honest if you're not honest.
That's like those, like in football, our coaches would cuss so much, but they would get so mad if one of the students cussed.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
You can't put an expectation for people that you're not holding for yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. And then the last one was being kind. And they used the illustration of how this girl, she had her friends, and then all of a sudden one day they decided they weren't going to be friends, and they were done with her, and it was really, really difficult and really, really hard, but taught her to still be kind no matter the situation, no matter what happened. And they said, and the really sad part is they never became friends again. They never reconnected. It was always an issue. But one of the things their daughter learned was, through that very difficult time, was to be kind. So those were the four things that were important to them in their child's development and building their character: is responsibility, honesty, respectful, and kind. And I think for other parents it may be different, but I think those kind of things aren't going to just happen. You're not just going to have a respectful kid. You're not going to just have an honest kid.
We all did.
You're not going to have just a kind kid. No. And so that's stuff that has to be taught. That's stuff that has to be put out there. But that's also stuff that has to be lived through your life as a parent. And I think that's where, so many times it goes, I don't know why my kid's being disrespectful. And you kind of look at the parent and go, well, I can tell you why. And so I don't know why my kid's not kind. Well, I can tell you why. You're unkind to everybody, and so that's not always the case. But in many, many cases, it's because of the product of the raising. And so, and one of the things we talked about is so parents are messing up. We're going to mess up. We all mess up. And I've messed up, and you know that. And so with the mess ups, to take responsibility, be honest about it. Let's have a conversation about it, and then try to fix it. And I told him, I said, some of you might go, well, my kid's in the 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, whatever. It's too late. I don't think it's ever too late. I just think it's going to be more difficult, but it's not too late. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to go through the hard times? Or you really go through the struggles to make it happen? And I think that's what happens with a lot of parents.
But your kid's going to see through your crap better than anybody else will.
Well, and that's what I told him. I said, if nobody knows you better than probably your kids.
When you're at home, that facade is gone.
Yep. They see the real. They know the real. They know that you got them fooled at church, but man, they're not. The kids see what it is at home, and so that's one of the things I was talking to our class about. Hey, this is something that needs to be lived out in your life. You can't expect something from your kids that you're not doing yourself, and so that means, hey, there might need to be some work you need to do on yourself. I need to work on me. I need to start taking responsibility. I need to start being honest. I need to start being respectful. I need to start being kind. Why? Because I want that for my kids. I want my kids to do that. I want my kids to have those characteristics. And so, I think that, and I think it's going to be a great study. I'm really excited about it. And, of course, we're missing a lot of people this week. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. But then next week we're going to talk about being united, as parents, being on the same team. So many kids are messed up today because parents are constantly fighting over whether this is wrong or right, whether this is okay or this isn't, and the kids are taking advantage of it. That kid.
That's why I think it's important to have this kind of conversations before you step into marriage.
No, absolutely.
Figuring out where y'all land on certain topics so that you can better raise the kid. Obviously, you're not going to agree on everything, but figure out what's something that isn't negotiable and actually have this conversation. How many people just jump into marriage not having any kind of meaningful conversation like that, and it's just based off of what you like being around each other, and that's it.
Well, even the same with raising kids. Hey, we're just gonna have some kids and hope everything goes okay. Well, kids typically don't turn out good accidentally. I mean, every now and then, I'm sure there's a rare occasion, but no. But in most, he pointed at himself for those who are listening,
this was purely a miracle.
Well, I believe that, and I believe God was very gracious to us and very kind to us, and I'm grateful that the Lord.
Well, and that's the whole reason. Dad was telling me the whole reason he started doing this series is because so many people come up to him saying, "How is your son such a sweet, perfect angel? What did you do?"
That's inaccurate.
So
no, that's fake news. No, that's not accurate. However. Raising kids aren't easy, and so if you're just kind of going through it nilly-willy, it's going to be even more difficult. You know what I mean? It's going to be.
Never heard anybody say it that way.
Nilly-willy?
It's willy-nilly.
Nilly-willy. You said it wrong.
No.
All right, y'all comment on the comments and let us know who's right. I know it's me. And if I'm not right, I'll take responsibility, and I'll be respectful, and I'll be honest about it. But I feel like nilly-willy is the right way to go.
I actually used you owning up to one of your mistakes to me in a Sunday school class not long ago. No, it might have been Wednesday night.
Well,
and how much that stuck out to me because I don't even remember what you said or did because that was all covered up by you being willing to come up to my room and say, "Hey, I messed up and I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah. Well, and that's that's the thing here. So as a pastor, not that I'm perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. Got a lot of issues.
Amen.
But how can I expect parents, and encourage parents to have those honest conversation with their kids, own it, be responsible, be honest, if I'm not willing to do the same thing. And by the way, that as a parent is going to be a super tough deal to do. But what I've also learned is most students, most kids are going to be receptive to it and even respond positively to it.
And follow that example.
I think so. And so that's my thought, that's my prayer, that's my hope. And so, not that I've always done it well. We still bring up the broken guitar incident. And
did we tell that story on the podcast?
We have never told this story, and we probably shouldn't have brought it up. But there it is.
I got to tell it now. I don't know why, but this has always stuck with me.
He's bitter over it. He needs to just get over it.
If you don't know, some of y'all might be too young or too old, but there was a board game called Hi-Ho Cherry-O. And basically, it was like a little board that had a bunch of trees on it. I don't even know how the game's played.
You put
the cherries on the trees, and I guess you spin a thing and see how many cherries you get to pick off your tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm in there. I have my Hi-Ho Cherry-O board out, and I guess I was playing by myself because my parents didn't love me enough to play the game with me. And out of nowhere, my dad comes in with my electric guitar.
I thought it was an acoustic.
No, it was a red with a white plate on it, electric guitar.
That was broken, didn't work. It was a piece of junk.
Not true.
Very true.
I still played with it quite often. Dad comes in like he's in Motley Crue. And I just remember my dad coming into the living room with my guitar over his head, and he smashes it on the Hi-Ho Cherry-O board. The guitar gets destroyed, and to this day, if you go look at our Hi-Ho Cherry-O board, it's a little damaged, and it's because Ozzy Osbourne over here came in and started destroying everything. And I don't remember why he did it or what was going on. I think his goal was to be funny and make me laugh, but I was like, why would you do that?
So in my mind, I thought, man, he's going to think this is super cool. I'm going to come in, I'm going to smash this thing. He's going to go, Dad, that was awesome. And I did not get the reaction I anticipated. And he's still upset and bitter about it today.
Just traumatized. I was like,
y'all pray for Keagan. He needs counseling.
Like, what kind of psycho am I being raised by?
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. So, but anyhow, yeah, no. So it's funny how you'll do things like that you think are going to be great, and then 20 years later, he's still upset about it. And so, who would have thought? Who would have thought that would be so devastating? So, I'm sorry for doing that. I can go buy you another little guitar if you want. I remember your Lightning McQueen acoustic guitar that you had.
Yeah, that one rocked. My
Sweet.
favorite guitar I had was the one that you would just touch and it'd start playing, so you could pretend to be good without having any skill.
Right.
That one rocked, because playing guitar is too hard for my brain.
No. I think if you can play drums, you can probably play a guitar. It's a little different. But
people don't understand. Drums is the easiest instrument to pretend to be good at. Because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, you're pretending well.
And people compliment it.
Yeah.
And you watch I have a friend named KJ who's probably the best drummer I've ever seen in my life. And just how much on a whole nother level that guy is. And that's a guy who's actually taking the time to be good. Whereas I feel like guitar, you can't really fake it that much. Either you got it or you don't. With drums, I can fake it and hold the beat along and look like I'm having a good time, which I am having a good time. You give a dude sticks and tell him to hit stuff, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with that. But can you give a dude sticks and he hits it and it goes along with the music that's being played? And I think that's important. So, what you do, and that's great. I appreciate what you do for the church musically. And, of course, a big shout out to all of our people that make our music happen week to week. I know there's a lot of work and effort that goes into that, and I appreciate them doing it, because it'd be pretty quiet in there without them. So,
although some of our players like to just disappear and go to Belize for a week.
Yeah. She's back, though. She got back yesterday afternoon, and she'll be back on the bass. For those who are tired of seeing me playing the bass, she should be back this Sunday. So that'll be good. I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about in Sunday school, parenting together. And I know we have a few parents in there that are, single or whatever, and that can be very trying and very difficult and brings its own set of obstacles. But I just encourage them, hey, my mom did it, and I feel like my mom did a pretty good job. And so I had confidence. I have confidence in them that they can do it. And the stuff we're talking about still applies. And so I think it's going to be a good study. I'm excited about it. And we'll be in there for the next, 5 to 6 weeks. So I think it'll be good.
If you want me to come in one day and give my insight on my parenting experience, I'd be glad to.
I think we're good. I think most people want to just kind of stay with the teenagers and keep rocking there. Sure. Yeah, keep rocking there.
I'm thinking about offering, I'm going to start doing marriage counseling for people. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to hear my tips and tricks.
Wow. Yeah.
Let me know.
From a guy who doesn't even have a girlfriend. So, yep, that's good. Makes a lot of sense. Can't wait to hear what you have to say.
I have 2 dogs.
You have 2 dogs that your mother takes care of.
Well, brother.
I'm just saying.
When I was living in Holly Springs for a year, I took care of those dogs, and they survived.
Yep. Past tense.
I even kept them alive in a house that had a pit bull and a cat constantly trying to kill them.
Wow. I don't think that pit bull could hurt a fly.
Yeah.
I mean,
all Honey does is sleep.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably, I think even Alex would agree, arguably one of the laziest dogs alive.
Yeah. It's so big though, and
massive. It could lay on Bristol and kill her.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's
and it thinks it's small, I guess, because it always wants to be in your lap.
The lap dog.
It just weighs so much.
Well, now it's Haley's dog.
Haley, who hates dogs.
Yeah, Haley doesn't like animals.
Haley, when dogs are puppies, loves them, wants to be with them all the time. The second they get like a year old, she's like, they're gross and I want nothing to do with them.
Wow, I didn't realize she liked puppies.
When Alex had that puppy, a while ago, she was all about it.
Really?
Then it grew an inch, and she was like,
Done with it.
I hate this dog.
She don't want nothing to do with Elle or Bristol at all.
Yachty.
Ever. Whatever you want to call the dog. I don't care. So, all right. So in the first service, numbers were about consistent. We're missing a few normal folks. I think there were some folks out of town. So one of the things that happened this week that kind of messed things up is Cherokee and Kings Academy and a few other districts had their fall break this week. And Pickens usually follows Cherokee County. And for whatever reason, and I think even Gilmore was out this week.
Everybody was out except for Pickens.
Everybody was out except for Pickens. Well, so then that throws a big wrench in everything because we don't do Wednesday night on fall break during Pickens fall break, which usually includes everybody else too. Well, now it's messed everybody up, and so our numbers were kind of wonky. And what I've noticed when I just went through Sunday school attendance, the two classes that were affected the most were the three classes. You, me, and the kids. Those were the three classes that were affected the most because of fall break for these other counties.
Yeah.
So then here's the deal.
Because the Ellises decided they were too good for church.
Right. Well, we'll pray for them. But then in 2 weeks,
they were at the beach.
Then in 2 weeks, Pickens is out, and so that's going to throw a whole nother. I don't know. It just
the only
messes
thing
up
we
all
got
the
going
numbers.
for us numbers wise is that Wednesday night we're taking off.
Yeah, we'll take that Wednesday night off, and that'll be fine. But then now there's some people that get 2 Wednesday nights off. That's not fair. I didn't get 2 Wednesday nights off. So anyhow, they get 2 Wednesday nights off.
I don't think people
but yeah,
care
we'll
about
take
us.
that off, and I think that's coming up here in 2 weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. But I don't know the date offhand. But anyhow, so that kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything. And like I said, my class was pretty low, probably the lowest it's been in a while. Your class was low. I think the kids were low. But other than that, man, what a great day. And had some folks that were out and man, strangely, I think there were 2 or 3 funerals yesterday that happened. A lot of folks, not really associated with the church, but people associated with them. And so, so anyhow, with all that going on, still the numbers were still decent and, everything went really well. In the services, the 2 services, we're doing brotherly love, like you talked about, and we're wrapping up Romans. Romans is done. I'm trying to decide, do I do one more message or do I just call it quits and be done with it? So I believe there's one more message there.
We're on week 33 of Romans.
31, I believe. Yeah, we've been there a minute. And so there's a part of me, are people sick of it? Hey, y'all let me know this. If you want me to do one more and wrap this thing up, put a neat bow on it and be done with it, or should we just be done with it and move on? So in the comments or whatever, let us know. I think Romans has been fantastic. It's been a really, really good study. And Paul, but in this lesson or this message that we did was Romans 16, 1 through 16. And he's just mentioning people.
I feel like you didn't spend enough time on verse 16, by the way.
Well, so there's a lot of people that could you like that, I guess. But even Tyler Moore texted me and he goes, "Next time I see you, I'm going to kiss you." And I went, "Whoa."
Aww.
And I said, "Only if it's a holy kiss." And but anyhow.
At least now you don't have that big old beard that's going to get in your face.
Well, I think he's trying to grow it back. He's probably pretty scruffy by now. But so anyhow, the whole idea is working together as a church and loving one another and accomplishing things big. And we can accomplish more if we do it together. And I love how Paul, at the end of his letter, hey, let's just stop and let's mention some people that have got me where I'm at, that have helped me get where I'm at, that are doing things for God, that are accomplishing things for God. And I think that's really neat that he took a moment to call those folks by name. Here are these people, and they're busy about the Lord's work. They're not getting wrapped up in the drama, and they're not getting wrapped up in the non-essentials. They're busy about God's work. And I want us at Shiloh Baptist Church to be busy about God's work. I want us to be busy doing what God wants us to be doing and not busy messing with stuff that just doesn't matter. And so, so I want that to happen, and I really pray for that to happen. And, that's my ultimate desire. And but I think both services went well. We had 3 or 4 families visiting Sunday, which is awesome. We have several repeat visitors that are there, and I think the Lord's just really blessing there. We had a good good attitude and spirit in both services. Went good, and as far as I know, nothing tragic or nothing crazy. The only thing that was really, really bad is me reading those names. What a tragedy!
I think
Tragedy.
I think Rob Moore saw me. I was laughing so hard
It's awful.
in the first service because
It's awful.
it wasn't even that you were just pronouncing them wrong. You're throwing letters in there that were not in there at all.
I'm just trying to get through it. It's a nightmare.
One of the guys you said his name was Hypocrite.
Hypocrite, right?
I was like, dude, so I was cracking up.
I think the only name I got right was Rufus. What a great name.
Yeah.
Rufus I got right.
Some of them were like not even close.
Were they not even close?
Well, it's not like I could do too much better.
Right.
But at least I'm not adding or taking away letters.
So here's what I think I'm going to do next time is just pull it up on my phone and hit play and put it in the thing and let it just read it for me.
That'd be funny.
And then that way I'm not butchering the name.
I wrote in my notes, pointed an arrow towards the section that was just a big list of names, and I said, "Dad, reading this is peak comedy."
It's terrible. It's awful. And listen, man, so then that makes you go, why in the world did God call me to be a pastor when I can't even read those names? That's just silly. And
of course, Rob yells out,
I think you did perfect.
"We feel like you nailed every one of them."
Big liar. So great. I do appreciate the, of course, I did preface this in both services. Hey, I'm about to read some names, and I'm going to butcher them. I just want y'all to know. It's going to be butchered.
And that he did.
And I did, and I own that. I take responsibility.
Was it better in the second service?
No, it was worse, probably. I mean, it was even more. I mean, it was a train wreck. Both of them were train wrecks. And I'm like, why are you even trying to read these names? This is dumb. You should have said, hey, Paul has some dudes that he mentions. Y'all go read it later. That's what I should have done. Romans 16, 1 through 6. 16, 1 through 16. Go read that. That'll be good. And I'm not going to try to read them because it was a train wreck. But other than that, I felt like everything went well. And I think at this point, most people who know me know that he's just an idiot. But I do worry about our visitors who are here, and they're thinking, this dude's illiterate. He's a moron. What we don't need to be coming here. So that's my concern. That's my concern.
I mean, I'm just now learning that it's Thessalonica. So
yeah, well, I can say Thessalonica, so I feel good about my learning. So, but yeah, there's some struggles there.
Music was really good.
Music was great. The first two songs were just jamming. They were getting it, and I love it.
I get to where when I'm playing a song and I'm really liking it, I kind of start boogieing a little bit in there, and then I catch myself. I'm like, are people gonna be upset with me?
Yeah.
Is this allowed in a Baptist church? Can I be dancing like this?
I think it's okay if you're doing it in the right spirit, the right meaning. I think it's fine.
For me, I love the song, but also when I'm moving like that, it helps me stay in time where I can. Because if I start thinking on the lyrics too much, it pulls me off the beat. And so if I'm dancing, I can sing and still be keeping in time. But that chair I have in there is making it difficult. I'm sitting in one of these chairs in there because my stool broke.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going to need a new stool. Or if anybody has a drummer's stool that you want to donate, that'd be sick. I'll take it.
Order one.
Because the one I want's really expensive.
Oh.
I want one of those saddle stools.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
No.
They're pretty cool.
When I think of a saddle, I think of a horse. And
kind of similar.
Is it?
No.
Does it have a horn on it where you can tie your rope on it?
It's like those triangle shape, but it's like dipped in.
I got you.
It's more like a fancy bike seat.
Okay.
Like if a bike seat was comfortable.
Like a motorcycle seat. Or a bicycle seat.
Sure. Motorcycle probably is closer.
Okay. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Gives your legs more freedom to be rocking that bass pedal.
Well, I thought you and Andy were going to replace the drum heads.
My job's to play the drums.
Oh. All right. Well, maybe we'll talk to Andy. See what he knows about drum heads. They need to be replaced.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And
I'm scared I'm going to order the wrong thing and get yelled at.
Yep, because I do that a lot.
You do?
Yep. I just owned it. I took responsibility. I'm being honest.
This is growth.
Trying to be respectful and kind about the situation.
And you are. I didn't really get to be at the picnic, but do you want to talk some about that?
The picnic. Well,
Was there a good turnout? Because when I got there, it was
4. No, and so the thing is with the turnout, due to fall break
sure.
in Gilmer and Cherokee and Kings Academy, that really hurt our numbers a little bit. However, I think we ended up with 50 or so that came, and we had good hamburgers and hot dogs, and a bunch of people were fishing, and some kids were swimming. Some people were out hiking. Some kids were playing on the playground. So, yeah, it was good. We had a good fellowship, good time, and the food was good. One tragedy, though, however, forgot to bring forks and spoons, so people were having to get creative.
You don't need them?
To eat their baked beans. There was Frito dip chips, so they were using them to dip to get their beans. Vince Gaines had a cup full of beans, and he was just drinking them like they were tea. And then they were taking the cups and cutting them up and using them as like a shovel. And so we found that we improvised. We overcome our situation. It'd have been better to have forks and spoons. But we didn't.
Man, he's running this thing.
I know. I got everything but that. That's the craziest thing, that I forgot spoons and forks. I wasn't even thinking, we're having hamburgers and hot dogs. Why do we need forks and spoons? But
it's better to have food and no utensils than to have utensils and no food.
Well, and that's where we were. And so I was thinking hamburgers and hot dogs. I wasn't thinking baked beans, potato salad, those kind of things. And so there was a bunch of that stuff that I felt like would have been eaten more if we'd have had the right utensils to do so, and we just didn't. So, but other than that, man, what a good time. Tucker brought his driver out there and set it up, and we were hitting it across the lake, and some of us were. Were
they dissolvable golf balls?
No, we're hitting them across the lake. Well, some people hit in the lake. My first one went in the lake, so I don't know. I think they were dipped in fish food.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good. Well, you can talk to Tucker about that, and I told him not to do it, but he did it anyhow. No, so it was good.
I told him not to do it, but then I also swung it a few times, is basically what we just heard.
Oh, man, I hit one, and I didn't see it, but I was told it was gorgeous. Gorgeous. But that's just my skill, and other people were jealous of that skill.
I heard Brett Clue hit a pretty good shot.
I didn't see. The one I saw, Brett Clue's, he topped it, and it went straight into the sand and buried about 3 feet.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, yeah, yep. No, Brett Clue did hit that one, and it was marvelous. So, but hey, a shout out to Brett Clue. He got our back side of this back side of our lights that haven't been working. He got them working. He was up here Saturday, got them up and going, and we needed them done. We needed them done for trunk or treat, and I was like, hey, man, is there any way we can look at that? And Shannon was supposed to come up and help him, but something happened when Shannon's family, I think there's a funeral or something they had to go to, and so he wasn't able to come. So Brett goes, well, I'm up, and he was up early Saturday morning for some crazy reason.
I heard Mom complaining about the tech.
Yeah, well, so Brett at 7 o'clock in the morning, of course, he got up early and was fixed these lights, and I am super grateful. Thank you, Brett. But where things went south was I was in the bathroom getting ready for the day. Tracy was still asleep, and he sends a text messages and then 4 pictures. So it goes ding, 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 all right outside the bedroom where your mother's sleeping. And so I thought, she yells, "Your phone's going off," that kind of deal. So I look, and of course it's Brett, and I'm like, he's gonna get killed tomorrow at church. So I think Tracy tracked him down and let her feelings be known about how grateful she was.
I feel like a lot of your problems would go away if you would just never have your ringer on.
I know, but then I would never know if people were talking to me. So that's.
I don't have mine on ever, and I know for the most part. I do have had some complaints with the teens of how quickly I respond. They say I take way too long.
Well, and so for me, if I set my phone up on where I hang my keys and stuff, I won't look at it again unless I hear it. I mean, it'll stay there until the next day I leave. So that's the problem with it being on silent. I just wouldn't look at it, and then there'd be people trying to get hold of me and would not be able to get hold of me. So that would be the tragedy of it all. It'd be the tragedy.
His beard oil tastes terrible.
Well, don't be doing that. So then we had a lot of people that are newer members of the church that came out. I thought that was really good. Gives us an opportunity to get to know them better. The Kaheelys and Bobby and his wife and daughter. And man, she's so sweet.
You should rank them all from favorite to least favorite.
Ooh, wow. No, not going to do that. And so, but it's neat to have, and the Bagwells were there. And so it's good to get to know them a little bit better and to hang out with them in an environment that's outside of just service, Yeah. And so that was really good that they came, and I'm glad everybody came, all the folks that were there. I think we'd have had more if I'd have picked a better weekend. I did not realize it was so many people's fall break, and so that's where I messed up. That's on me. But other than that, man, what a great night. We had a really, really good time. Food was good. We had more banana pudding than you could shake a stick at. I think everybody brought a banana pudding, and so which was fantastic. Hey, you can't go wrong with banana pudding. I ate a bunch, and very, very, very good. But I had to use a cookie to eat the banana pudding because there was no spoons or forks because some idiot forgot them. So yeah, that was the tragedy. That was the problem. So, but other than that, man, what a good week. It was a good week. And yeah, I look forward to Wednesday night. I look forward to everybody being back in town and moving forward, So I think it's good.
Last week we said we were going to talk this week about our top 5 favorite mishaps that happened here. Did you prepare something?
Oh, wow. I know of at least 3 or 4 that I can come up with right off the bat of mishaps that have happened here at the church. So do you want me to share mine or do you want to share yours?
I can go. Most of mine are, I have a notes for things like this on my phone. So I don't exactly.
I think you need to start doing notes somewhere else other than your phone.
Well,
it wouldn't be an issue.
Or you buy a camera, then I could have my phone.
I got you. Yeah, we can do that too.
So, there we go. Number 1, my favorite thing that's happened here.
We're going to start like the top 1, or should we stop 5 and work our way down to number 1?
Well, 3 is all I know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Can I do, because I know what your 3 are, can I do what 5 and 4 should be?
Absolutely.
So
we'll just do a combined list.
So yeah, let's do that because I know what your 3 are most likely.
Yeah.
I can guess. So a couple of mishaps in the baptistry.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So
specifically that one Sunday.
So one Sunday we're baptizing a truckload of people. I mean, we've got people everywhere. And I'm thinking if I can just get them to sit down, it'll be easier to dunk them, and I don't have to tell them, hey, bend your knees and blah, 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 blah. So we get this thing from the Odoms out of their pool. That's a neat stool, and it's a neat idea, but it doesn't suction or stick to it. So that chair's moving around as they're moving around. And then we get that one guy in there, and we go backwards, and I bounce his head off the back of the baptistry. I mean, just doink, just like that. And I'm like, and raised in the likeness of his resurrection, and I was like, holy cow, dude, are you okay? And so I felt really, really bad about that. And by the way, I don't think we ever saw them again after that. I don't know if he died of a concussion or what happened. Actually, he worked in he was a welder, and they moved, I think. At least that's what we were told. But anyhow, really sad to bounce that dude's head off the back of the baptistry. So that would be maybe 5. Number 4, another baptistry incident is Aiden Fisher. And I've told everybody, hey, listen, man, these stairs are slippery. Take it easy. Take your time. And all of a sudden, Aiden is all the way in the water. He came down.
He got baptized twice.
Yeah, he baptized and then baptized. So then I'm telling everybody, obviously you see that it's slippery. And we get everybody else in with no problem. And then Eric Spink starts coming down, and he does the same thing. He baptizes himself twice. He was soaking wet before he got to the bottom of the stairs kind of deal. And so I would say those are 2 baptistry mishaps, and the reason why I think baptistry is such a crazy thing. But the funny thing that happened with that is then Samantha's like, I'm going to buy some of that sticky tape, and I'm putting that down. And she goes, you drain that baptistry. I'm doing that on Tuesday night. I'm like, okay, whatever. So she went and she put that sticky stuff on there, and it's been awesome. We haven't had any slip issues yet, and man, we probably should have done that 10 years ago. I guess.
It's like that stuff you put in the bottom of a bathtub.
Yeah, it's just to where you can walk down the stairs, and it's kind of like fancy sandpaper, but it just kind of gives you grip where you don't slip and fall. That's what I think of it as.
No.
Yeah, totally.
There's no grit on it. It's these bubbles.
No. Have you even walked on them? They're little strips of sandpaper.
Am I tripping?
Yeah, I think you're crazy. We'll go up there and look at it later.
I really don't care that much.
We got to baptize this today. So
what I have at number 3.
Number 3.
Alan Bach's communion.
His is 3?
Yeah. James beats it.
Right. But then what's number 1?
Oh, you don't know. Okay, perfect. So Alan's coming up the stairs. I'm in the drum cage.
Well, tell everybody what we're doing, though.
I said communion.
Yeah, but just let them know that that's what's happening.
Okay, well, for the 3rd time, we're doing communion. And he's coming up the stairs to give bread to the band and just the other people on stage. And he trips on the top stair and flings the plate like upwards. And it starts snowing bread all over the stage. I mean, they went everywhere. Of course, Mom's the last person to be around when you do something embarrassing because she'll laugh pretty hard. Oh, you know what else would be a good one? Easter Sunday, you tripping and falling. I didn't even think about that.
Okay, but let's stick here.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, so for me, so communion is supposed to be like very sacred, and it's very serious, and everybody, that kind of a deal, and you're thinking about what the Lord's done on the cross, His sacrifice that He's made for you, and so it's a very solemn moment, right? And then to look over and see Alan going down, you're like, oh my goodness. So I immediately just turned to the left and was looking at the wall. Like I never even looked back over there for fear I would crack up laughing. I didn't even have the heart to go, hey man, are you okay? I'm just looking to the left going, don't look over there, dude. It's going to be a tragedy.
I was laughing pretty hard. I guess we were doing communion different that Sunday because why was I in the drum cage?
Well, because what we've started doing, instead of it being awkward silence, because that's one of the big things that people struggle with communion is while they're passing out the bread, it's just quiet. Well, what we have now is Brandy will pick a song that goes really well with communion, and y'all will play through that song, sing a verse, and music will be playing, versus it just being quiet and awkward. And, we live in a society today where people don't like awkward silence. So we have music playing and we're singing while they're passing out the elements. And so that's why he's coming up on stage, is to give y'all the elements, and the poor guy, and bless his heart, he didn't make it.
Okay, so real quick, honorable mention, Easter Sunday, Dad tripping as he's coming up the stairs. I think it'd be ranked higher if more people saw it, but I have it on video, so if you would like to see that video, all you have to do is text me, email me, do what you got to do, and just say, hey, send me that video. I'll gladly send it to you. I posted on my story a while ago so that everybody could see it, but that's really fun. He falls very hard, almost hits his head on the piano, and jolts back up faster than he fell down. So that's pretty funny.
So hang on. Let me give my piece.
You don't have
on
to
that.
mansplain
No,
everything.
I'm just telling you my story. I was hustling around that day. Got a lot going on. I think we baptized that morning. And I'm trying to hustle to get back up on stage for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on. They're shaking hands. And when I fell, I didn't think anybody saw. I thought I was good. I thought I jumped up so fast that no one saw me. I thought, oh, I'm good to go. But then a group of people on the far side where you and your mom and all y'all sit started clapping. And then I knew I was busted. And the interesting thing is they started clapping. So all these people right here that didn't see me, that were closer to me, were started looking around like, hey, man, what's going on? What's going on? And so, yeah, that was. And then we had several people that apparently caught it on the video and then sent it to other people to let them know how funny it was.
I didn't catch it. I went back on the live when we got home, found it, and screen recorded it.
Well, there were several people that was watching that day and then sent it to other friends and other people that weren't there as well to let them see. Now, they didn't send my message. They didn't send the celebration of Jesus rising from the dead message. They just, here's Chad falling on his face. So, and I was inches away from the piano. If I'd have hit my head on that piano, I'd have probably been out for the rest of the day. It would have been bad. So, all right, sorry. Go ahead.
Number 2 is also a communion thing. Stop messing with stuff, man. Number 2, communion thing. James Rohoff, he doesn't go here anymore, but he was one of the ushers bringing the stuff down, and he's at the very front. Again, spiritual thing, you're trying to be serious. And it was when we had just started switching to those COVID cups where you have to peel the top off of the thing to get to the grape juice. And doing the juice part, he's going to undo the top, and it got like caught or something, I guess, when he pulled it, and it flung juice all over his face. And so he's up front trying to be serious and hold it. I didn't get to see his point of view, so if you want to talk about what that looked like, I just remember seeing him like kind of be taken back and trying to still hold it together and be serious. And hearing the stories about it later is really funny, and that's got me. I think that's number 2, because having juice on your face and trying to be serious, in my opinion, is funnier than the flinging the bread in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, he made a big mess. Big mess. So what's number 1?
I thought you were going to tell your side of it.
Go ahead. What's number 1?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Dad's preaching, and out of nowhere, a dog starts running around the sanctuary.
Oh, yeah. That was on a Wednesday night.
I wasn't in there for it. I just heard about it.
Yeah, so we're sitting there, and my good friend, Connie Keagan, had taken her dog, I guess, to the groomers or to the vet or to whatever.
Did she ask anybody if that was a cool, like, if it was cool for her to bring her dog in there?
I don't seem to think so. And so we're sitting there, and I guess she has this dog in her coat or in a bag or whatever. And
she had it in a carrying case.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zipped up.
Well, she apparently unzipped it, or the dog broke loose. But at one point, that dog is running down the center aisle. and of course, it's kind of hard to preach when there's a dog running through the church. And my first thought is, why is there a dog in the sanctuary? I mean, I get if you bring a dog into the church. That's one thing. But to bring a dog into the sanctuary, I was thinking, what is going on? And so, yeah, it was one of those deals where you're like, this seems a little crazy. This is crazy that there's a dog.
And if you've met Otto, that dog, he's not the one to be letting be free in a church. That dog's crazy.
Otto was happy to be free.
Very hyper
and ready to go. And I was thinking, what's going on? What is happening? Of course, everybody's like, oh, puppy, And so at that point, you might as well pray and be dismissed, because no one's listening at that point. They're all looking at a dog. So, yeah, I don't know.
Is there any other mishaps that you think deserve to be on the list?
I don't know. I was trying to think of things that have happened in the services or happened in church. There is one, and I'm going to leave names out because I don't have permission from the parents. And what I say, I think is completely funny. I don't think it's bad. I just find it very hilarious. In fact, my response was, "That's hilarious." There was a little boy in the back, and Dad was taking the little boy out. I think he was being maybe a little disruptive and maybe being a little loud. I don't know. I don't know the situation. All I know is I'm preaching, and I look up, and him and his dad are headed out the back door. And the little boy stops, looks at his mom, and with the saddest look on his face, he just waves at her like, "I will never see you again." And he's so sad, and he's waving by so I assume he was in trouble because Dad's leading him out, and he looks super sad. But he just, in the saddest face you could look at, he looked back at his mom and waved. And I said, that was awesome. So Tracy thought something bad had happened.
I did too.
But man, it
completely knocked him off his rhythm.
It did.
And it derailed him for a little bit there. And so I'm trying to figure out what's happening, and when I turn around, I see the back door closing, and I was like, oh, somebody must have got up and walked out and made some kind of gesture to him on their way out the door because they weren't happy about what he was talking about.
No, it had nothing to do with, as far as I know, and maybe the little dude didn't like listening to my message. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that the 5-year-old was upset with your theological ideas.
Right, maybe, yeah, maybe that wasn't on what he appreciated, but it was funny for him to look at like it was one of those waves. Like, I will never see you again. I am saying goodbye for all of eternity. And it was just funny to me. And it was one of those deals. I looked up just as he did it. So it happened right there. And a lot of times that stuff happens. I don't notice. A lot of stuff happens in the church that people go, hey, did you notice this? Or did you see this? Did you hear that? And I'm like, no, I didn't hear any of it. And so typically I don't hear any of that stuff. I don't see. Usually I'm in my zone. I'm doing my thing. But that caught me just out of nowhere. And I was like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But then you don't want to laugh because, the parents are trying to teach this young man, hey, this is church and you need to, behave and that kind of deal. And, but but I find humor and stuff like that, but it was funny. So that was one of the things that I guess an honorable mention. I don't know. I'm sure there's been a lot that has happened. Sadly, I've said a lot of stupid, crazy stuff, that has been kept in a journal or a list of my kids. And so, there is that. That's embarrassing. But
Haley's put a lot of effort into that list, and I appreciate it. And
yeah.
What I do is when I hear Dad say something that's questionable that I feel like shouldn't be said from the pulpit, I'll look over at Haley and I'll say, throw that on the list, and she has it on her phone.
So for those who don't know, Haley and Keagan and Tracy have comprised a list of things I'm not allowed to say from the pulpit anymore. And it's getting quite extensive. It's pretty long. But I will say this. I haven't had anything added in quite a while.
It's been a very long time.
So I'm doing really well. We're seeing some growth there. I'm being responsible. I'm being honest, and I'm being respectful and kind. So I think that's helping, and so those things are happening. So anyhow,
you don't cuss from the pulpit anymore.
Wow, I've been accused of that one time, and it was Jimmy Priest, and Jimmy Priest doesn't know what he's talking about. So, but it was, and that's another mishap, I guess. Somebody said I was talking about winning the lottery, and man, you'd want that money. And I went, well, yeah. And Jimmy insisted that I said, well, blank, yeah. But I didn't. I went, well, yeah. But the way I drew it out and the way I said it, apparently a lot of people thought that I had
So it was a good
that.
thing someone had addressed it, because then a lot of people would have just thought that he said yeah from the pulpit, which wouldn't have been good.
Well, so here's the crazy thing. This was back when Hank Fussell first started coming, and we really didn't know Hank that well. We were just getting to know him, and he sent a message and said, man, that was a great message, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, what is this guy? Awesome. He really excited about my message today. And so then I was telling Jimmy Priest about it, and he goes, well, he said that because you cussed when you preached. I went, I did not. And he goes, yeah, you did. He goes, you did. I went, no way, man. And so that began the big discussion of that happening. But I will tell you one of the early mishaps that happened. It wasn't at church. We were doing a couples retreat like the first February that we were here. So we'd been here. I'd only been the pastor about a month, and we did a church-wide couples retreat there in LJ at this little cabin, and we had a bunch of people there, all ages, from young marrieds all the way to people who've been married for 50, 60 years, right? So we have everybody here. And it's our first big event that me and Tracy have put together. We have food and we have everything going on. It's a 2-day deal, and it's going to be spectacular, right? So this is our first thing to do. And it was a love and cherish retreat that we had, and it was really good. And we had gone through it and knew it was good. So we ordered the materials. And so we're going to show this. It's going to be great, right? It's going to be awesome. Well, there's apparently part of the curriculum that we didn't know about. Okay. And we had no idea. And so when we first started thinking, they go, do you want us to show us all the videos? I'm like, well, of course we've seen all the videos. They're great. It's no big hit play. Well, so then this doctor comes on, and he's in a doctor's coat, and he starts talking about different things that were very uncomfortable and very embarrassing. And I remember Mr. Norton, he's sitting over there going, oh. I mean, because it kind of got.
I love Mr. Norton.
Oh my goodness! And so things got crazy there really, really fast. So I'm scrambling from the back of the room, the DVD players, all the way at the front of the room, and I'm running through people and over people to turn this thing off because it wasn't bad, but it's just that kind of thing that, you know, you're not going to have that kind of discussion in front of other Christians, especially mixed couples. You know what I mean? But even still today, Macomb and Towery still give me grief about it today. After 13.
And what kind of retreat is this?
After 12 years, when them two guys get together, they're walking out on Sunday, they're giving me grief about it. After 12 years. They're still doing that. So one of those, sometimes those mistakes don't ever go away, man. Sometimes that they will always be there. And that was one of them that they think is so hilarious. I think it's so funny that happened. My thought was, dude, I'm being fired the first month that I'm here on staff as the pastor. They're going to fire me the first month. Of course, a lot of people thought it was funny. Mr. Norton was a little taken aback, but everybody was very forgiving. And everybody was very loving, and everybody was very understanding. But very, very, very bad. So, but anyhow, great curriculum. Just know that there's a part in there that you may not want to talk about. So, yeesh. So there it is. There's your embarrassing things that happen at church and crazy stuff that can take place at any moment and at any time.
Well, hey, everybody, we're getting over an hour here, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. If you got cool questions for us, send them our way. But that's all for this week. We'll see you next week.
Have a good week.